Friday. I hope, like me, you're wearing your Ebonport spirit wear. Yay, blue and gold, all the way, go Eagles. I hope you've had a great week as well and that you're excited for your spring break and that you really just put away your computers, your laptops, your phones, all of that, and just have some fun and rest and relax and don't worry about school for a week, because I know the teachers are gonna do that too. But we will be missing you and thinking about you the whole time, I'm sure, because it's been so long since we've seen you. But hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later that we're all together again. So today I'm reading a book called SkippyJon Jones Class Action. And some of you may have read about SkippyJon Jones before. He is a Siamese kitten, a baby cat, but he wants to be a Chihuahua, one of those little dogs that bark a lot. But SkippyJon, he lives with his mama and his 3 baby kitten sisters, but he pretends to be a Chihuahua all the time, and he goes on these amazing adventures with other Chihuahuas that he has. He actually goes into his closet at home and then imagines these whole awesome adventures that he has with a bunch of Chihuahuas, and then he comes back out of his closet and he's home again. So they're really, really funny, and in this book, he really wants to go to school, but his mom does not want him to go to school because she says school is only for dogs, not kitties. School is for dogs who need training, who don't know how to behave well, and she says kitties don't need that. But SkippyJon really, really wants to go to school with all of his Chihuahua friends, and so he finds a way to do that. So here we go, SkippyJon Jones Class Action. Oh, I should say that there are a lot of words in Spanish in this book, which is very, very cool, and that's why I like SkippyJon Jones books a lot, but please forgive me if my Spanish is a little bad. Okay, here we go. SkippyJon Jones Class Action, written by Judy Schachner. SkippyJon Jones was just dying to go to school. And nobody, not even his mama, was going to stop him. But she did, by the scruff of his neck. "School is for the dogs," stated Mama Junebug Jones emphatically. "They're unruly and drooly," she added dramatically. "Just listen to that barking. Those hounds sound ferocious. Plus a bus full of dog breath would smell so atrocious. Good golly, Pop Lolly, it's such a no-brainer. If there is a good dog, it's because of its trainer." His mama gently nudged her nugget into his room. Then she added, "You're SkippyJon Jones, a smart Siamese cat. Take a look in the mirror if you don't believe that." "He looks in the mirror every day," said his sisters, Jezebel, Jillyboo, and Jujubee. "But all he sees are Chihuahuas." "Arf, arf," barked Jujubee. After his family left him to think, the Chihuahua did exactly what his mama suggested, but not before he bounced around his room with some books. "Oh, I'm SkippyJon Jones, and I don't get the fuss. It's not like a pigeon is driving the bus." Then he climbed up his sister's kitty condo ladder for a peekaboo in the mirror. "Holy Julio," squealed the kitty boy. "How many Chihuahuas am I?" he wondered out loud. Then he took a deep breath and, using his very best Spanish accent, he answered, "As many as your head can handle, hombre." And quicker than you can say the cat in the hat never did that, the kitty boy tossed his mask and his cape and a bright yellow banana into his mochila. Then, as he buttoned up his red plaid shirt, he began to sing in a muy, muy soft voice. "Oh, my name is Skippito Frisquito, and I'm off to the school for perritos, 'cause I've got a good hunch that I'm going to have lunch with a grand old bunch of puchitos." Just across the hall, Mama Junebug Jones and the girls were doing a little homework of their own. "Listen here, messy missus," said Mama. "How are you supposed to clean your kitty condo without your ladder?" "SkippyJon Jones has it," said the sisters. "What for?" asked Mama. "So he can see the Chihuahua in the mirror." The Chihuahua, however, was already in his closet, boarding a bus for school. But the kitty boy wasn't the only Chihuahua on board. His old amigos, los chimichangos, were going to school too. "Thank dog you made it, dude," exclaimed Don Diego, the biggest of the small ones. Si, Skipito, panted Poquito Tito, the smallest of the small ones. We need your help con el bolito. Without a doubtito, declared El Skipito. But why do you need my help with the bully? Because he is a perro mezquino, declared Don Diego, who barrenas around the escuela in a tazalita. He spins around the school in a tiny teacup, exclaimed the kitty boy in shock. See, dude, added Don Diego. He growls and howls and wears a suerte de lana también. Not the wool sweater, said Skipito. Uh-huh, agreed Poquito Tito, trembling. He is a woolly bully. There wasn't a dog worth his biscuits who didn't fear the woolly bully, so it wasn't a surprise when a potent puff of panic poofed out the gatitos' tails. And all that puffiness inspired the Pachitos to sing, Oh, Puffy, Puffu, Puffito, we know you can do it, Skipito. Let's unravel his sweater and knit something better. We'll show that old woolly bullito. But there was no turning back now. The doggies had arrived at school. A moment later, the principal, a poodle with very high standards, appeared with a bucket of balls and a whistle. First, she blew, and then she threw. Go fetch, barked Mrs. Begalot. Then every dog, big and small, chased a ball down the hall and into their classrooms. Except for Skipito, he got carried along by the river of rovers and landed in art class where he drew his best ever double doggy doodle. I've never seen a pup do that before, said Mrs. Houndler, the art teacher. Then he trotted over to the music room and bayed like a beagle for the canine chorus. Bow wow! Woofed Mrs. Muzzletuff. What a pair of ears! After music came math, where Skippy stunned Mrs. McDrueller with his counting skills. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. At the bell, the amigos followed their noses into the library. Not even a bowl full of frijoles smelled as delicious as the scent of books waiting to be read. I lick libros, declared El Skipito Frisquito, the great reader Ito. I like books too, whispered Lenora Lapsitter, the librarian, from behind the bookcase. The kitty boy was the last to leave the library, so he had to race right over to French class with Monsieur Fusé. Can you say cheese? Asked the teacher. Oui, oui, said the poodles. Fromage. Si, si, said Skipito. Queso. Queso cabeza, shouted the chimichangos from the rear of the room. I'm not a cheesehead, chimichangas, chuckled the gatito. I'm a chihuahua. The poodles were tickled pink to have Los Pachitos in class with them, and Los Pachitos wanted to share what they had learned with their amigo. So, the poopies sang, Comme si, comme ça, comecito, we have zing to tell you, Scupito. When the poodles say we, they really mean si, so don't look for a red hydrantito. After French, Los Muchachos took a pass on obedience class, deciding instead to nap inside the warm case with the golden trofeos. I'm not good at following rules, confessed the kitty boy. What dog is, dude? Quipped Don Diego. But just then, the gatito heard a gurgling growl that shook the entire escuela, perhaps the whole planeta. Holy heartburn, hollered Skipito. Was that my tummy? No, that is the bellow of the woolly bolito, said Poquito Tito with a shiverito. The gruesome grumble grew louder, and along with it came the rattle and plink of the terrible tazalita. It was spinning wildly right under his nose, circling like a polka-dotted shark. Andale, declared Don Diego. Get out your duds, dude. But Skipito was too frozen with fear to unpack his mochila, so his amigos did it for him, helping to change their chico into El Skipito Fresquito, complete with mask, cape, and banana. "Why the plantano, dude?" asked Pintolito. "It's my snackito," replied the gatito. "Will you share it with me and Tito?" "Yes, indeedo," agreed Skippito. Then woof chucka-lucka-lucka, woof chucka-lucka-lucka. Every doggy leaped out of the case and latched onto the turbocharged Taza. This caused the cup to spin wildly out of control, some of the chicos just hanging on by a tail. "Estoy mareado," cried Skippito. "You are not dizzy, dude. You're green," yipped the doggies. The whirling dervish of a dog-filled teacup cut a mean path of destruction, past the principal's office, and spun straight on into the lunch bunch like a bowling ball. "Strikeito!" shouted the Puchitos. And strike it did. Smash, crackle, and pop. The twirling Tazalita crashed right into a table and broke apart, exposing the ferocious Fuzzy for what he really was, a teeny tiny, itsy bitsy, wool-wearing teacup chihuahua. "Dude," declared Skippito, "you're no bigger than a bug-ito." But the bug-ito's only reply was a gurgling growl, greater than the hounds had ever heard before. "Is that your tummy?" asked Skippito. "Sí," replied the bolito. "Tengo mucho hambre." "I am hungry too," agreed the gatito, "but you can have my plantano." The act of kindness made the chimichangos pull out their jump rope right in the middle of the mess. "Peanut butter and jelly buttons, chunky cherry pits, the woolly bully's taza has broken into bits. Wiggle waggle jelly on the toast. He's not a woolly bully, he's just hungrier than most." Just then, Mrs. Begalot stomped into the lunchroom. "I smell a cat," she bellowed. "That cat better scat." Then came out the whistle. First she blew, and then she threw a bright yellow ball down the hall, which every dog, big and small, began to chase. Except for Skippito. He wasn't chasing the ball. He was running for his life. First Skippy tripped, and then he slipped on the banana peel and slid straight out of his closet and back into the arms of his mama Junebug Jones. "What in the woolly white willies have you been up to, Mr. Whistle Whiskers?" asked Mama. "He broke my teacup," whined Jilly Boo. "And he ate my banana," complained Jezebel. "That's 'cause he went to school with the chihuahuas," exclaimed Juju Bee. Later that night, after every Fuzzy fell asleep, the kitty boy was good for one last bounce. "Oh, I'm SkippyJon Jones, and I couldn't say it better. A dog is not a bully just because he wears a sweater." Then he bounced over to his mama and gave her a beso, a kiss she felt straight through the layers of her quilt. "Good night, little dipper," said the very sleepy mama. "Good night, mama," said the very sleepy kitten. So, at the end of the story, SkippyJon Jones falls out of his closet and away from all the action and adventure of the dog school. And then he's safe at home with Mama and his little baby sisters. And he's so exhausted that he falls to sleep right away. So he had a really good time at dog school. Did you catch that he really wasn't at dog school? He just goes into his closet, and his closet becomes a land of imagination and adventure, and he uses his imagination to have all of these amazing things happen to him. So in this book, he imagined that he was at school with all of these crazy dogs. And I think it's really funny that the crazy dog that all of the other dogs were scared of, what do they call him, Woolly Bolito, was a tiny little dog in a teacup. All of the other chihuahuas were terrified of him, which I think is funny because he was so tiny and he travels in a teacup, which doesn't sound scary at all, but he was scary. And did you realize, do you remember why he was so scary? Because he was hungry. You know, a lot of us get mad and angry and kind of mean and scary when we're hungry, so I can relate to that. But once they gave him some snacks, he was a lot better and they weren't scared of him anymore. I just think it's funny that they were all scared of a tiny little dog in a teacup. But I hope you like SkippyJon Jones. I do love him a lot, and I love his adventures with all the other perritos. And I hope you all have a fabulous weekend, a fabulous spring break. Please know that we'll be thinking about you and missing you. And I can't wait to see you again once we get back. All right, love you, bye.